wanted to do your follow it? Yeah? Okay. That thing is working?
Yeah.
It looks like, yeah. Okay. So, this is another special occasion for our podcast because we are recording another conversation in English. We usually don't. But while we are here in Fortress Festival, we had an amazing opportunity to speak with a couple of bands, and one of them that I specifically asked for is Perennial Isolation.
Yeah.
They're an atmospheric black metal band from Spain, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Right.
And you started in 2012,
Yeah.
Correct.
so it's been a while.
Yeah. It's more than a decade. Yeah. But yeah. Sometimes we ask to different interviews that our idea is to have a duration of 1 year, not more.
Yeah.
Yes, because the early plans for the band is just to create a demo or an EP, and then the friends and fans from Barcelona, from Spain, ask us, "You don't have to plan to play live." No, it's just for to have a home recording. So, you know that nostalgic moment in your young that you want to create an atmospheric black metal EP or album in Bandcamp.
Yeah.
Because in that time we got another band, and it was incredible because a lot of people react very very good to the first EP, and they putting much pressure to us. Oh, you need to play live, and you need to create more. It's not the first idea. And then you tell us today. 2 years we celebrate 13 years. 13 years in the November. So the first idea is totally broken, and it's an incredible adventure.
But between these few years, not few, 13, you have released 5 albums, right?
Yeah.
Including the EP. So for our Latvian standards, that's quite a lot. Like our most epic and active bands usually don't even have so many albums. So for a project that was just for your youth time, right, to do something, it has grown quite a lot, right?
Yeah, but we like to work. Yeah, I'm talking that when all started and you don't have really what is the direction to go with the band. So one day you wake up and you think that, oh shit, we recorded some really albums, 4 or 5 albums, and it's not the first idea. And and I remember that a lot of years before we take the dynamic of recording that 2 years that every album to be released, So, but when we changed the lineup in 2015, we started to create a new type of music. So we put more emphasis in atmospheres, in orchestrations, on different stuff that we never did it before, and that takes a lot of time. Two new members that need to be feel the music that we did it because we never played or worked before with that 2 guys, with Mark and Ivan. Yeah. And this take a lot of time. This take a lot of time, and we know that we spent more time between one album and another one from the like 5 years, and but we want to create more with more how to say, with more a professional direction.
Better sound, better
exactly.
kind of
exactly. This is because the plan of the early Perennial Isolation, that it's between the 2012 and 2025, is just more organic because we got on one guitars, just one bass. I was playing bass and vocals at that moment, and he in drums. So yeah, it was different, more organic, more classic black metal, you know. But then when Mark and Ivan starts with us, the second era of the band, just change it. Yeah, we started using samplers, you know, to start to working with click track, with more new material, with no more the composition of two guitars that are working between them. And yeah, and this needs more time, this needs more, because yeah, you know, you want to create some special, and every album you want to put more emotions and grow up more. Last album, so yeah, this is the reason for how the first album was really more fast, and then as
The last
two is
ones was
with
like-
5 years between one album and the other. So, well,
But speaking about sound, one thing that jumped out to me was that you use, I would say, a genty guitar at moments.
Yeah.
Is that by design, or is it something that comes from experiments? And how do the band members feel about that sound? Like usually black metal bands try to stay away from that, right?
Yeah. And one of the songs with us, they call it the gent song.
gent.
So I
Yeah.
know this feeling, but yeah, I think it's part of the to create something new.
Yeah.
It's like, we want to experiment different sounds, and Ivan start with the 8-string guitars, and it's like,
Yeah,
okay, I have 8 strings,
with
it's time to play.
with a really low tunes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really low.
So yeah, I think that we understand black metal or extreme metal like an open art, you know.
Yeah.
I mean that why we need to close all in a little square, that you need to create all the time the old stuff black metal.
Yeah.
It is not in our mind. So we don't have afraid to innovate, to put new type of sounds or new type of compositions that can break the under and standard black metal. So could be a risk. Yeah, could be a risk, because some fans could reject it. But we never find problems or troubles with fans or labels or with media for innovate. Even we for example, in the last album we have just the elements. So yeah, we say hello to the boiled water.
Neka čista, zarvut.
Yeah. So, well, it's a noisy
the best
black metal,
moment.
you know. It's no, right. So, yeah, we like to innovate. So, even to put new instruments that could break in the line of a standard black metal. So, the gent could work cool in the black metal. So, looking forward to that. So,
Yeah.
it's not a problem.
Yeah, okay.
It's funny.
Yeah, it's funny.
To try
it's
different
funny.
sounds.
I think it's a successful experiment, if you can call it. I think it, with pinches of it, it elevates the music.
Yeah. This is because I always think that who put in the black metal world art that needs to be so close that in a classic style of music. For example, in 90s, Emperor break that line to put in keyboards and a lot of orchestration. So, and all people try to kill Asian for, you're breaking the, exactly. The black metal is just for that. It's for to break the lines, for break the system. It's a rebel idea. So why not to put innovation in the music?
Yeah, agree. Yeah. To what inspires you to create such, I would say, heart-wrenching music? Is it nature or is it something personal? We all know that Spain is not the most wintry of places.
Yeah.
But I have heard your previous interviews, which you touch upon this subject. But yeah, what inspires you?
Totally in autumn. Yeah, totally. Autumn is the name perfect for our inspiration. We love autumn. You know, weather, the temperature, because in Mediterranean Sea takes a beautiful color in the mountains, but even we are living in Barcelona, our main inspiration is more in the north of Spain, that the autumn are more real, you know. But yeah, the first albums were most focused in depressive black metal, you know, more depression, nostalgia, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
But yeah, when we changed the lineup, yeah, we try to put in the table that what is the we want to sing really, we want to compose. What is the first idea? And was autumn, because the first recording, the next recordings is always in autumn, and we were joking about that, but our guitarist normally in summer say, I am disappearing, so I will not stay in contact with any one of them, so I am on holidays. And then when he returns in September, he says, hey guys, I am inspired now. So and normally it's
always
in autumn. Yeah, you know, it's in the chain of the season. Yeah, and always the composition season in autumn, and we spend all the year to finish to composing, and we normally start to recording in autumn. Yeah, because because in Portraits we was recorded in autumn and was composed in the last autumn. You know, 1 year of time. Epiphanies of Your Fan Lights album 2. So. You know, man, it's a message. You know, it's a message of the nature that's telling you you need to sing about that. Yeah. And but it's not just about autumn. It's just about related, like the sensation, the nostalgia, the death of the nature that needs to be kill herself for go forward to the winter and restart again. It's like a wheel. You know, we like more that mystic. Ideas regarding the autumn seasons and how nature is the life transition of that season that needs to be recreated again and again and again. So autumn is the resume.
Yeah, yeah. What is your goal and your vision for Perennial Isolation?
Our goal.
Because it looks like you're gaining traction quite quickly, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, that's why I heard the question.
I think that the goal is be there, for example, no, and festivals that more focused in atmospheric black metal, just more in a more black, more introspective black metal. Well, I don't know really. I think that the goal is to be creating music because we are artists and we need to put in a paint, you know, your music, your emotions, your sensations.
We always need to create something new.
Yeah.
Always. It's like we can't stop. If
Mm-hmm.
one day is like we need to stop, maybe. But for now it's like
maybe it can happen, but.
Yeah,
But yeah, I think that the goal is, well, what is the goal of a band? To be famous? It's impossible to be famous in black metal. Even you're living in Norway, so you know you have a really music industry pushing you. But in small bands like us, I think that the goal is the option to share your music with fans around the globe in festivals like that are supporting you, that are combining you to join into the lineup. I think it's the best goal for us.
yeah.
That's why you're writing your music in English, or
Well, or in Spanish or in Catalan, so what?
In a part it's like this. It's for open a little bit, but always in Spanish, the ratio of people they can listen to you is really low. It's like South America, Spain, a lot of some places of Europe and all that. Yeah, I listen some music in Spanish, but I think it's not as normal. It's normal to hear music in German or that, but in Spanish it's like a strange.
Yeah.
for us Latvians, I think most of us, we have a bit different perspective because the most successful band we have does their music in Latvian.
Oh,
So
right.
we think that if you create good enough music, you can reach it. Your reach is still better than if you're using English. And I think a lot of Europeans like exotic languages, right?
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
like any language. I think if they want to dig into the lyrics, they can translate if they need to, right?
Yeah,
So,
right.
Yeah.
don't feel discouraged, I would
Yeah.
say.
No, yeah.
But I think that the things are changing. So, yeah, maybe English is more romantic for extreme metal music because you have a very big vocabulary, even more like Spanish. Because Spanish have a vocabulary, old vocabulary that it's really
It's hard to see.
yeah, it's not in use. So and the pronunciation, for example, in guttural,
Yeah.
is more complicated because you have a hard consonants that it's not soft consonant like English. But things are changing because you know that now are a lot of bands that are singing in French, in Germany, or even in
Solstafir
Catalan,
in Icelandic,
or even
so-
even in Catalonia, in Catalan too. Or you can go to the north of Spain and you can find fan bands that are singing in
Euskera.
Euskera or in Galician, yeah. So, yeah, I think that now metal are open more the mind, so to take native languages for communicate, because if your mother language, so how you can sing with your main language. So I think it's normal that people in Latvia can sing in their own language. So yeah, I think that normal. We are putting more innovation in that case. That people starts to think, oh, why I need to use English because my beautiful native language is perfect for sing. I think that now is changing, so a lot of bands are singing in their native language because it could be more easy for express, because you know when you are trying to write in English, you need to take the Google or the ChatGPT and how to translate that, and yeah, because could be more romantic, yeah, and I think that Spanish is so difficult for extreme music, right? But you know it's a lot of bands that are singing in Spanish. I think it's more personal, so, but well, now are more open languages to in the metal extreme or rain languages that now you say, oh, that people sings in that extremes as for example in Catalan. Yeah, now in our country, in our region, yeah, it's more common now that people use Catalan like Spanish or English. So yeah, it's
Could we see it from Perennial Isolation
to sing in
to
Catalan.
your native language to use it?
It's an idea that
Always have this option in mind, like
Yeah.
maybe one or two songs.
we never materialized it before, and for the new album it's not materialized, but some people ask us to sing in Catalan sometime because it's really romantic. The vocabulary is very, very great for compose extreme music. So who knows?
Yeah. Okay.
Maybe one day.
Maybe one day.
Is your local scene something that is part of Perennial Isolation and your development? Your local metal scene?
With the local band.
Like, or are you separate from that all? Is there even a local scene for you?
No, I think it's strange, the local scene.
Yeah, I think Spain is strange in extreme metal. So well, this is because the extreme metal start very, very late in Spain in comparison with other countries. Why I'm telling you is because when heavy metal kicks so hard in Spain, extreme metal start 10 years after that one is in Europe to creating.
We're
I
always
think-
late.
Yeah,
In everything.
the question is that are really competent between the bands and are really more type of genres. It's not like another countries that could be more focused on extreme metal. You know, For example, Portugal are doing more support to extreme metal like classic metal, and normally you can take more extreme metal bands like classic metal bands. But Spain, it's big, separated from the north, from the south. In the north are more black metal like Asturias, Cantabria or Galicia. But in the south, in Andalusia, it's more classic metal. So what's happening? It's not a really big support from the fans. And what's happening? That if the fans are doing support to the classic metal bands, the music industry in our country are creating festivals, big festivals, for this type of music. And
Only
for
for
extreme,
this type.
yeah, exactly. But in the extreme metal genres are more going to a little festivals that with a very big communion, but just really little festivals like Fortress. Well, Fortress is a big festival, but it's a big festival. But comparing that, yeah, it's right. I'm wrong. So, but the question is that I think that in the Europe eyes, black metal in Spain are not serious for that, because you can see that there is not really extreme metal bands playing in extreme metal festivals in Europe. It's very strange to check the list of the bands and say, oh, that is from Spain.
So probably because of that.
Yeah, we are playing here, and we are the only band that we are from Spain. So it's.
So probably because of that lack of extreme metal community, you're reaching out to Europe first and foremost, right?
But I think that maybe I'm mistake about that, but I think it's regarding the geography. Because if you want to play in Europe, you need to cross France. It's that case. And what happened? So the really big city for play in France, in my opinion, is Paris. Or if you are playing in Hellfest, or but in the middle it's so hard because the biggest scene is in Paris. So yeah, I think I understand that for the festivals economy, it's a bit hard to contract a band to put from Spain and going to the center from Germany, for example, because Germany have a lot of countries with a lot of festivals that you can, with a lot of bands, and it's so easy. But this is my opinion, it's about geography. But I think that in the second is that, well, the music industry are not doing really support to the Spanish bands. This is because are really a lot of bands and are not in a good big levels, and etc. And well, this is very strange for us because we are here. It's I am pushing shit to my bands from my country, but yeah, we are here. It's reality. Why Fortress Fest contract us for stay there? Yeah, maybe for quality, or maybe because we are offering some different in relation with the other extreme metal bands, black metal bands, in Spain. Could be. But honestly, I think that we are normally going to, in our line, independently that whole music or art are creating another bands. And one thing it's important in our band that it's different, I think, in comparison with the black metal bands in Spain, that we have a European mind. That means that we put a lot of risk our band to grow. And in Spain,
a little bit more open-minded.
Yeah, exactly. And in Spain, normally the bands are more closet in that region, and that's the problem is that the movement of the music is very very local. It's in my country. That means that there are not movement of that art in the rest of Europe, and the media are not taking your information for police because it's not interest. And the thing is about that. It's about the interest. How much work the interest for other countries for be there, and if your money is just to be caused, okay, yeah, it's impossible for a band to stay outside.
For Fortress Festival, I think you were a perfect fit with all the atmosphere that you create, and I'm glad that you're playing here because first I got the chance to discover you, and I think a lot of people did, and you didn't even see how long were the queues to get in your stage room because the whole front yard was aligned and not all people could even see you, like,
Yeah.
right? But yeah, of course, compliments on your performance. It was very emotional and very strong energy. You could genuinely feel that you put everything you can in your playing. So props, and it was totally amazing.
Thank you. Thank you.
And you played the whole of your last album, right? Portraits.
Yeah.
In this performance.
Yeah.
Yes.
Was it a specific request to play your last album?
Yeah, yeah. It's when Fortress call us, say, we wanted to play in the festival, but with one condition is to play Fortress exclusively. Holy shit, right? Right?
it's like,
Because
oh.
we were preparing a new album for, and you know, when you are playing a festival like that, you want to present new songs. No, it's just the portraits. Okay, so.
It's like they got the exclusive of the first time the band is in UK and
Yeah.
playing portraits.
Yeah.
Okay,
It's
okay.
like,
Yeah, this could be maybe we are not with the idea that how can our album can touch hearts on the emotion for people of the crowd of the fortress, because if people are telling you that I only want to play this is because I think that you know our album is good, so thanks for that. So but I think that maybe a lot of fans are waiting for that, to play that album, because we are conscious that in our trajectory that album makes that the band stay more outside Spain, in Europe, and I think that the fans are really happy with that we create some special, and really we are really thank you to our label, because Non-Serbian Records did it very good. They create a very incredible, massive promo from around the Europe, and this led us to that the fans around the Europe or the world can connect with us. So I think that is a present, maybe because that album makes a new era in the band 5 years ago, and I think that this is a gift to the fans that to play only that album.
And now that the English people will have seen this album live, then probably down the line you can play your newer material, because you're a familiar band now, right?
Yeah.
Here, more familiar. But on stage you also mentioned that in the end of this year you plan to release a new album, yeah?
Yeah.
So what can we expect in comparison to the previous albums?
Well, this is a hard question. So because every album is different. Well, I think that will be the most epic album that we create before. So
I think this is the word that can describe the new album.
Yeah.
It's more epic.
It's more epic. The last one was more dark.
More symphony, or
Yeah. It's more symphony, but very brutal. Very melodic.
A lot of experiments.
Yeah.
You will hear.
Yeah, well, I don't want to do spoilers about that, but so I think that the word is epic. So with delicious guests that we will discover at the moment. But I think that is the most mature and most difficult album that we did it before, because it's full of details and a full new kind of composition that it's different that we did it before. But I think that it's more simple. It's less technical, but more direct. It's more directly with more full of force. But definition is epic, totally epic.
We can say one thing of the album.
What's
The
it?
number of songs.
The number of songs are 6.
okay.
6. Yeah, it's the only thing that
It's one thing that we will have clear when we start to composing. It's like we want a CD with a short CD, but with songs
long.
longer songs.
Yeah.
Less
songs and longer.
Yeah, longer.
Like a story.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's in real. No, it's not. It's not an very conceptual album because we normally we leave that idea from the Epiphanies of Just for Light. So yes, every song is related with autumn, but it's not a conceptual album. There are 6 tracks and less tracks, but
And
longer.
every song
is
goes
longer.
a story.
Yeah.
Okay. To slowly close down the interview because we're, I guess, out of time.
Right.
Okay.
I wanted to ask you to give a teaser for a potential Perennial Isolation listener. What, in your opinion, attracts listeners to your music? So we can
Well.
tease it a bit.
Why? Well, we sounds really different from the atmospheric of black metal bands. Yeah, because we are not using excess of reverb, So, well, I think that we are doing our vision of atmospheric black metal.
Yeah.
That's because that this type of extreme genre sounds very similar between bands. So we try to.
We love it too. But
because
the
that's
thing
good
is-
inspiration for us. But we want to sound different, maybe more organic, and plus of melody. We put more focus in the organic sound of the guitar with effects, but not a wall of reverb. So, and I think that one important thing could in the next album will be vocals. So because today was the first show with me only in vocals, not just playing bass on vocals. Because all the time, all these 15 years, I was playing bass on
Splitting
vocals.
the focus. Right?
Yeah, so I think that new album is more focused in the extremely vocals with a long screams, a different range, different dynamics, and maybe it's not 1 hour of reverb vocals inside the bathroom. It's so different about that. I think that our idea is to be more organic in that case and sounds with a lot of melody, but not full of reverb.
Okay. So, if you want to hear new atmospheric black metal with experiments, huge atmosphere, and a variety of extreme vocals, give Perennial Isolation a chance. You will not regret it. It was totally amazing during the show and the albums. Totally, this was my most anticipated underground band from this lineup, and I hope more people discover you. I hope to see you again on the stage.
Yeah, we're really surprised. Because normally in Spain, it's other than the questions of our countries. When a festival starts, the people is not in the first hours.
No.
And this is when we checked our timing sets, we were thinking, we are not the opening act, but we are playing second. Well, we hope that it's fans with us. So the crew of the festival say, "Hey, will be a lot of people with you." Oh, really? Because it's so different in our country. When you are playing in a festival, so it's not people in the
not too much
bands.
people.
Yeah, and we really surprised about that. That's so, and it's surprised that whole people was waiting for us along these years because it's the first time that you are playing here, and we are really happy for that because people was waiting. We hope that we do the best of us. So and with a new era, so because that's the new surprise, because all the videos and all photos that you can So the different years is me playing in bass, and now it's just in vocal. So it's innovation,
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's that. It's that.
Awesome. Yeah. I hope to see you again on stage. I wish you the best in your path to great black metal. And,
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you for the chance to speak with you.
Yeah, thanks.
And,
You're welcome.
see you next time.
Yeah.